Vega Squadron's turn to ban. Vega Squadron's turn to ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Team Empire's turn to pick. Seconds remaining.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another day here of the EU qualifiers. It's myself, IDPix and Draskell. Welcome very much to the stream. It's an absolute pleasure for us to have you here. And we have Team Empire versus Vega Squadron as the first of the two series today. The winner, of course, of this will be going ahead against Team Spirit. The winner of that will go through to the major. So the loser of this best of 3 series will be going home. Andy, as always, we've had a lot of kind of first pick spectacles, and again we're having it here. Empire with the first pick Oracle here for Aloha, which we did see play it a lot yesterday. I mean, were you impressed enough to say it was first pick? Was it every game?
He played it at least 2 games.
Yes. Yeah.
So he could have even. Wait, we only cast Empire 1 time yesterday, right?
Yeah, and it went to 3 games, didn't it? Yeah, because Vega. No. Wait, who played Empire? Liquid?
No, both series went to 3 games.
Yeah, they did,
at least the 2 that I was here for.
Because, yeah, Empire had the Sven Havors game and they won that one. Yeah, you're right. Did they have Oracle in the game that they won with Sven? I don't know if they did, actually.
Oh,
I think they might have had it in every game that they lost. I think they had it in both games they lost, but they didn't have it in the Sven game.
That's not a good thing, Owen.
I know, it's
horrible
not.
Thing.
I might be wrong. Maybe they did have it in the Sven game, but I don't remember seeing Sven like being false promised to you and YOLOing it.
Nah, I don't remember that either. So you might be right.
I don't remember that.
You might be
yeah,
right.
I think they had it in both games that they lost. But first pick nonetheless, Vega Squadron, that Death Prophet. And we saw, who was it playing Death Prophet yesterday? We saw Fighter playing Death Prophet, and we also saw...
Oh god, it was gross.
It was Resolution. Gross. Was it Resolution had a game on the Death Prophet? It was, wasn't it? It was the final series of the day. No, sorry, that was Team Spirit. It was Team Spirit's mid, who the name surpasses me. Who's mid for Team Spirit again? It's, who is it, Andy?
Oh my god.
I'm blanking on Team Spirit. It's not YW, is it? Oh, he's the support. Yeah, but, sorry, YW is Ivan. They got Ramses, this new team. I need to learn their name. Because these guys are they're the ones that we need to watch out for. Yeah, because Ivan was the one who played Pudge in one of the games, didn't he? Iceberg, of course it is, yeah, the Invoker Master. Yes, Iceberg. Yeah, we saw Iceberg play Death Prophet, I think. But, yeah, so we're going to see it first pick here for the side of Vega. They're going to follow through with a Vengeful Spirit. So already, that classic Vega, classic CIS push coming out from the lineup.
Yeah, I like the Death Prophet. I think it's crazy strong right now.
Yeah.
The one thing that I want to know, actually, is how Spirit Siphon interacts with Fate's Edict. Because it says it pierces spell immunity, so that means it goes through Fate's Edict too, right? Because it goes through BKB. Which means that part of it isn't really super useful against the Death Prophet in general, and plus Exorcism doesn't care about Fate's Edict either, so you kind of just get thrashed when you have that on. But Empire, they're going to get the Resolution Invoker, which I'm always a big fan of, personally.
Oh yeah.
Probably going to be seeing that go Exort, so really high damage so far opening from both teams. But if I'm favoring, like just based on the opening 2, I still like Vegas a bit more.
Okay. You'd still go with Vega. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
because of the Death
difficult.
Prophet. Yeah.
I think it's difficult to deal with that hero at this point. Like after seeing what Liquid did with it yesterday, I'm just like, it was just disgusting. And I think Havos probably suffered the most in that game when he was playing against it because he tried to kill it so many times. And I think a lot of it also had to do with the fact that Kuro had Dazzle and a very early Solar Crest. Like that really hurt them as well. But if you can get any kind of support with that help on a Death Prophet, it's just a nightmare to deal with.
It really is. It's, yeah, as you said, with the changes and how it's working now.
10 seconds
It could be that pick that could do this for the side of Vega. I mean, going into this game, the matchup Vega versus Empire, I think a lot of people, and would you agree? Would you say that you are expecting Empire to be the stronger side here, or do you think Vega have every chance? Is it a balanced matchup?
I think this matchup is a coin flip, actually.
Yeah, just because of the style of teams that they are.
Yeah, you have to wait until you see the team play a game or two on the day to know like how they're going to be playing. There's a good chance that since we started the games a little bit later than normal, that these teams were up and already practicing too, which means that we're probably going to be getting into it pretty quickly when the game actually kicks off. So the pushing hero meta, like Chen, Brood, Lycan, just banned out from Empire. They're like, no, we're not getting pushed in.
This is the you're drafting against Vega, banning from Empire for sure. Vega, I mean, well, it's got to be essentially similar. I mean, the Lone Druid here, is that Mag Lone Druid or Pasha Lone Druid?
I know they both play it.
Yeah, because I mean, are we still maybe looking for a Mag Beastmaster? Because I still feel that would be excellent here.
It kind of depends on what the safe lane that Empire is going to be, I think, before you can pick the offlane hero for sure. That's why Lone Druid is a solid pick, because it's still ambiguous enough to where Vega can mold it to what they need, but they need to see another hero that's not a support come out from Empire before they can make a better guess on who they want to get for their safe lane if the Lone Druid's not actually going to be there. So they're just biding their time, waiting to see if there's going to be like an easy pick instead of just picking it into a support bane, which doesn't give you much information, you know. And Tusk is the same. Another flexible hero can do a multitude of things.
Yeah, no, this is, as you said, this is nice about Vegas, that they have got the potential to switch. I mean, so yeah, it could be like Pasha Vengeful Spirit. It's offlane Lone Druid support Tusk. Yeah, they've got.
It could be like completely random lanes. That's the thing that makes Vega's lineup scary.
It really could. I think that's as you said, what makes it maybe a little bit harder to draft against Vega. I mean, Empire obviously have something in their mind. You know, they know that Vega do like the push, and that's what they've gone for with the bans. The pick so far for Empire as well, I think they'll be very comfortable with the heroes they've got. They obviously favour the Oracle, as you mentioned, Resolution Invoker, one of his signature heroes, and Bane, never really a bad pick, and Empire will be able to get it through the draft here. Fourth pick for the side of Empire, still looking for their own offlaner, Funix hero and Havor, so the Na'Vi duo here as these next two picks. And let's see who they go for. Funix, there's a fair few good offlaners still actually in the pool here for Funix. You reckon safe lane first? Yeah? Yeah, it's the classic of Orstjara. I mean, we saw him play this definitely in the first game, I remember, and they did this thing where they went on the offlane, tried to contest the farm, and he didn't get the start that he needed, and it was a tough game for the Jara. Second game, he played the Sven. Can you remember what he played in the third game when they lost against Liquid? It was, yeah, they played Sven twice, didn't they? So yeah, okay. So, well, yeah, we'll see how the Jara. As you said, there's strengths, weaknesses here against Vega's lineup. Obviously, synergizes pretty nicely with Empire's lineup again. They're going to feel comfortable with the heroes that they've got here, Empire. And just looking for Funix final one. So Vega, I mean, who are you targeting out of a kind of Funix hero pool? It's going to be actually the Nature's Prophet. Yeah, that's an interesting ban, that one.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah, it's... I mean, as well, now we're talking about the ban that came out from Vega, the ban from Empire. We've already mentioned how Vega's very flexible, can switch it around. Okay, so Empire looking at Vega's draft, saying offlane Druid, support Venge, support Tusk. They still need the carry. They'll take out the Jug away from Pasha. Now we'll see if it is indeed Pasha's hero as the final pick, or if it's going to be a Pasha Venge or a Pasha Lone Druid. Yeah, Ember. In terms of catch, yeah, it could be good. Yeah, Yeah, that's one. Yeah.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Do you think it is going to be Pasha's hero? We say more than likely this is the Pasha hero now, rather than them doing something different. Yeah. I'm happy to go with Empire on that prediction. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, Vega taking a bit of time here. Going right down.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Okay, so it is going to be Pasha Venge or Pasha
Empire's
LD.
turn to pick.
Yeah. Resolution was wrong. Alright. It does. Happens to the best of us. Yeah. I mean, if you had to call, I mean, I'm trying to think. Does Mag, is he more likely to play Tusk or Lone Druid? That's the thing here, because that's going to lead us to whether it's going to be Pasha Venge or Pasha LD. I think it will be safe lane Lone Druid. You know, actually no, it's Vega. I'd go with safe lane Venge.
Reserve time.
I think it's going to be a carry Venge this game from Pasha, and then a Mag LD. Yeah. You think? I don't know. It just seems such a Vega thing to do. Have that vengeful position 1. Yeah.
Dark sea.
And the Funnic Darks here. Alright, there's the wombo combo. Yeah, with the Jar and the Invoker, I mean, and the Oracle and the Fortune's End, it's not bad. And here we go. The big reveal, Pasha. Who are you going to play? It is... Go on, come on, Venge. It's going to be Pasha Venge. Let's see. They're keeping this hidden. Come on, guys. Who's playing carry? Which is the carry? It's like, right, we've got this draft. Who's playing who? Yeah.
Ten seconds remaining.
It's the Pasha Venge. Yeah.
5 seconds
Let's do it.
remaining.
Let's do it.
When they have that hero.
I think he does now, you mentioned it, yeah. Yeah, I mean...
Shioma.
Prepare
Yeah, this
for
makes
battle.
sense. And Mag, you know, he's the man with the micro with his Beastmaster and stuff. So he's good. Give him a bigger bear, step him up from the Wild Boar to the Kung Fu Panda, as he has named here. Let's see how Kung Fu Panda does here on the lane. And I mean, you yourself, you would rather have seen the safe lane LD. Do you're not still kind of on this safe lane Venge hype that we've had since the summit?
It's not that it's bad. I just feel like in this kind of game, what I think Vega would want is the 1v1 Lone Druid versus Darkseer. And no matter who plays the Lone Druid, like that lane's irrelevant. As long as the person can play the hero, they can get that matchup and be fine with it. That's the only reason I didn't think that Pasha would be playing the Venge, because that hero is more lane dependent. But the Lone Druid can pretty much do anything he wants, so... I guess in that case, Mag is maybe the more experienced player in the 1v1. Maybe not necessarily tailoring to the Lone Druid itself, but the lane that he's gonna get.
We saw Smoke up there, seeing if they could get themselves in a position to jump Empire, but Empire, they did head up for the top room, so we're not going to see a clash at the moment. They did get a ward down, but again, at the same time, there was already an Empire ward around here, so they know that Vega's made this movement.
By the way, Pasha looks fancy as fuck
The
with
battle
his
begins.
Venge set.
It's got a beautiful set.
I don't think I've ever seen that set before, actually.
It's very nice.
Looks clowny. Alright. So, yep, 1v1, DS versus Lone Druid. Both heroes kind of farm. I think Lone Druid gets the advantage eventually. Once he gets 5, maybe you can get a lucky entangle into a gank. Otherwise, Funnic's just going to be like shoving the creep wave into the tower 24/7.
Okay, I mean the other lanes, Resolution DP. We're starting to see DP a little bit more nowadays, and mid lane, we know that she's a strong laner. How does she go up against an Invoker?
I think what we saw yesterday, similar matchup when Fato was playing Death Prophet, he still did very well. Oh, it was against an OD, I want to say, right? That's what he was laning against in that game. And OD is a pretty strong laner as of right now. So I would imagine he's going to hold his own just fine.
Finally, the bottom lane have Vorst. He's got the backup of both of the supports. And at the same time, he's going head-to-head with this tri-lane. And it is a strong, aggressive tri-lane. Vega do have kill potential, but at the same time, with an Oracle and a Bane, Empire certainly have the saves if necessary.
Yeah, it's going to be really key, the timing on the Oracle. Like, if he can get the Fate's Edict off to stop the incoming magic damage and the stuns, I think they can very easily turn it. But if he misplays or he's not there and they snowball into a healing wave, then that hero can die very, very quickly. Just have to be very conscious of that.
And top lane, as you said, we saw earlier, Funnick did just run in and get a fair bit of harassment onto Mag, but 6 for 2, 3 for 1. Darkseer has got the edge in the moment, and we can see Funnick just go straight past. Gives a punch there to Lone Druid himself, and the Barretts is also taking a significant amount of damage here from the Iron Shells.
Yeah, it's like this in the early game against most heroes when you're playing against the DS. He just shoves the wave super hard. The nice thing about the Lone Druid is that he can just resummon the bear if it gets low, and the cooldown's only 2 minutes now, so it's not completely horrible. And again, if he gets a lucky entangle at 5, he could actually get a kill.
And Funnick he has no fear here.
Yeah, he was just trying to get him to resummon. It's a win for him if he can do that, and actually we're going to be missing the first blood.
I got it.
Hot dance.
Don't worry.
Oh, you got it.
We had the camera on it.
Nice. No T-Tours. So Shoma dies.
Yeah, set it up with a Nightmare, and there was a Sunstrike from Resolution to contribute.
Nice.
So easy catch there for the guys, and of course something that we do need to note, the fact that on this bottom lane, with Vega, they might try and go for something, but if you get Nightmare, there's a huge turnaround potential with a Gyro in the lane, and of course an Invoker just being on the map.
They got double range heroes though, so that combo shouldn't really...
Yeah, I guess.
It shouldn't happen too often. The only way that happens is if one of the heroes is way too far away from the others to get woken up. Otherwise, it's just like, Nightmare into Arrow. You just A-click the guy so he can move. Oh, no one. Oh! That was really close.
He might turn it here.
Nah, he doesn't have any mana left though.
Ooh. This is, the matchup in the mid, 10 for 6, 9 for 5, I think it's as close as we kind of expected. Death Prophet certainly proving her strength against the Invoker, but Invoker still, especially with the 2 points in Exhort, having that CS capability.
Yeah, this hero got way better in lane with the addition of Soul Siphon and integrating Witchcraft into her base skill set. Like 310 movement speed, Jesus. It used to be 280, I want to say, at level 1? Or 285 or something like that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you were saying the other day how it stepped up by quite a margin. Obviously to counter the fact that her, she no longer has the passive that grants her extra movement speed.
Yeah,
so,
but even
better at the start, weaker at the end.
At early level, it's way better, yeah.
Yeah.
And looks like rune camping being done here by both teams. Oh, actually, no one's gonna get a double rune. That's really good for him. That means that he can pretty much come back to lane, has almost full mana, double damage. It's a pretty big deal, especially when no one is roaming. That's the biggest thing. Since this lane is pretty much going to be static, if you can have the rune control like that, get really high impact laning runes, it helps you tremendously, especially on a hero who needs that good early game. Okay, Resolution's getting a regen. Alright. OS Frog.
Regeneration.
And top lane, Funnick continues to get the creeps, but LD's doing quite well in terms of getting the farm under the tower. We're 26 for 4, so Lone Druid's still going to get everything that he needs here. So in that sense, this lane, pretty much a bit of a wash. Both teams are finding the farm on top.
Yeah, it's pretty much as we expected.
Yeah.
He doesn't really want to go mess with Funnick, like cutting creeps. There's not really any point for him to do so. The bear is tanky enough, has a stout shield, 5 armor, and 2300 health. It's gonna be ages before that thing has to be resummoned, but he can just do it on cooldown too. If he doesn't want to send it back to base, then he just resummons instead.
On mid lane, no one still continues to keep the pressure on. 24 to 12, 19 for 7, breaking away a little bit in terms of the last hits, but it's only slightly. And Vorst on this bottom lane, 22 for 3. Is farming just that little bit better here than Pasha's Venge, but again, it's still very close, early days in. And at the moment, it's really hard to kind of call who's coming out on top of this laning stage. Obviously, the fact that Empire did get that first blood gives them that slight edge, but very, very close at the moment between the two sides.
I think if anything we can take away from the early game, the Empire have a slight advantage in that their fighting will come online earlier. Because Havos is about to be 5. He's gonna have call down at his disposal. Lone Druid isn't really like scary or anything until he gets like a phase boots and orb of venom and maybe some attack speed on the bear, or if he wants to go for radiance, right? So with that said, the only thing the Empire really have to worry about in the 5v5 is the Death Prophet, at least for a little while.
And
I think
they're
they're gonna be good.
And she's going to look to be very active here. There's the setup, the Nightmare does come through, but the snowball across, stunning both of them. No one with the Crypt Swarm and the Spirit Siphon gets one. They'll get themselves a second one, or will they? No fear, pops the 6 charges. Might just be enough. No, Crypt Swarm will catch him. They'll get a kill. Double kill, in fact, for no one. And meanwhile, Darkseer actually ends up dying on the top lane to the Lone Druid. So, Lone Druid getting a solo kill there on Funnick whilst that action was going on down bottom. So, great bit of momentum there for Vega suddenly happening in the last minute.
Root gaming, man. That's what I was saying. Sometimes you get unlucky and you can die to that hero, especially if you're doing what Funnick was, which was creep cutting all the time. Because you're not going to be at a very high amount of HP if you're just doing that constantly, unless you buy like Vanguard, which obviously Funnick wouldn't do that because he wants a mech. And the tower, bottom lane, going to be dropping as a result. No real lane pressure being applied anywhere but mid right now from the side of Empire. And I think Resolution... he is still quite far away from Midas too.
Needs to be a bit careful. Magic Missile comes through. They do need to try and find an entangle if they want the kill, but the Surge will be off and Funnick's out. Unless Mag wants to try... No, he's not going to go for it. Just a little bit too deep, and a TP was coming through. Does get cancelled. Was just going to be there in case Mag did decide to dive, but plays it safe.
I guess there's no reason to risk it when you've already pretty much won your lane. That solo kill is pretty big. I mean, it shouldn't really happen on paper, but every once in a while you just get the RNG, get a couple of Admiral Bulldogs on the guy and he's a goner. But it's still good news for Vega. The early game is still really, really close though. It just depends on when that gyro finally comes online, hits 6, and they can just start taking team fights. I think their mech timing is actually going to coincide with Havos 6 pretty nicely. He's about half a level away, and Funnick is only 270 gold away from the mech being complete. And then you got your vac wall, even though it's not like super high level right now, you can still hit like a couple of people with it. And then you can go into the call down, and hopefully the mech can offset the difference in teamfight potential.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's as you said, when they get those timings, Empire are going to be able to deal much better with the pushes, which will come in there. You know, Vega, no one, he's got the Exorcism back online, working towards that Yule Scepter. But there's going to be a point shortly where we'll expect to see Vega group back up and try and go for it. The build on Lone Druid, he's got 1600. I imagine this is going to be the Midas into Radiance that we've pretty much seen Lone Druid go every game that we've watched, haven't we? In these qualifiers that we've casted.
Yeah, most of the time. It's usually Midas Radiance, or depending on how good of a game the Lone Druid is having, you could also just go Naked Radiance. I'm not sure if Mag is contemplating that, but it wouldn't be bad, because the earlier the Radiance, the more impactful it is, especially when you're in team fights, or if you want to just use the bear to idly push out lanes. So we'll see what he opts for. They are starting to give Pasha some different farm priority though. Just realizing that Mag probably doesn't need the safe lane anymore, given that he won it pretty hard, and now he's level 9. So just making sure that Pasha can get back on his feet.
And this is the timing that you're talking about. Funnick gets the mech. He's actually going to go straight back up top. There are 2 heroes here, but he's going to feel a little bit safer as he's surging in. And yeah, the pings come out. I think he did realise that Tusk was there on the sidelines, so he'll be careful. Not to just clear up this camp instead. Tusk throwing out the shards. It's going to be a very hard kill to get. Level 8 Darkseer with mech. They'll throw down the stun nonetheless. Going to give it a shot. He's still got the surge and he's still got the mech. In fact, Funnick just turns, drops down the wall, surges and says, "You want to kill me? I'm going to turn around and kill you." Pasha swapping Shoma back into it. There is a Death Prophet coming in and the Crypt Swarm will finish him off. The Sunstrike, it comes down. They are going to find one and now they're trying to ball, but the Spirit Siphon from the Death Prophet is too much. Havos turns up with the cooldown, but it doesn't matter. He can't fight into this Death Prophet. And it ends up being a 2-for-1. Vega dealing very well with this, and yeah, Funnick not expecting the Crypt Swarm to the face there. It looked to be a nice potential turnaround from the Darkseer, but Vega were just on top of Empire there.
He used all his mana, Owen. He didn't have mana to mech. He used all his spells and he couldn't mech anymore. And if he popped Soul Ring, he was gonna die anyway, so... Oh, well. Aloha Dan Smith. Root Gaming.
False
Oh,
promise
no
though. That should be enough to keep him alive, and in fact Funny Kid's trying to do his best to turn, but Shone was there.
Oh, I
Isn't
still
gonna
killed
happen.
him.
Oh, what? He didn't heal up?
He only had 1 point into Fate's Edict, so he could only
so he
cast
couldn't
one
cast
Purifying
it.
Flames.
Ah, damn.
Yeah, that sucks.
Alright, rip Oracle. And another kill for Vega. Vega 6 for 2. Things are certainly starting to step up and certainly seem to be favouring the boys on the Dire.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. There seems to be a lot of mechanical mistakes going on this game, like Funix solo dying, and then like him going back up top lane, using all his mana, not having the mana for mech. That like those kind of mistakes you can't make when you're playing against a team the caliber of Vega. So hopefully they can kind of shape up a little bit during this early mid game and get some big team fights going off the back of their Gyrocopter and Darkseer combos.
Yes, that is the one thing we've got to bear in mind. They do have that one-by combo potential. And yeah, one big team fight could certainly turn around the advantage that they've given to Vegas so far. In fact, we'll have a look over to the net worth. How are we looking? It's, yeah, the Lone Druid looking the scary one at the moment. And indeed the Midas on the bear, 1300 gold on his way towards what we'd imagine to be that Radiance. But Empire is going to look to fight here with Resolution. You've got a smoke up from the three of them. And let's see who they can catch out. No Fear wanting to lead the way. It's Dazzle and Venge at the moment, but it looks like they realise that something's going on. People are off the map. And it's going to be hard for Empire to find anything here if they could play like this, and they will. Empire realise they aren't going to get any kills, they'll reveal themselves, and they'll try and go for a push here with Resolution's double Forge Spirits now online.
Yeah, it's kind of a big tell when one of the cores are missing from Empire. Because unlike a lot of team compositions, the cores are actually necessary in the early game just to be able to fight, because Empire lack control without the Bane being level 6. Like, they don't even have Fiend's Grip yet. So as soon as Resolution goes MIA, Vega's just like, alright, something's up. We're probably going to get ganked or something. So it's just going to be a tower trade, looks like, in the end of the day. Vega going mid, Empire going top. I don't know if Funnick wants to hang around here.
I was going to say they're looking for the Darkseer. Who'll actually get silenced. At the same time, yeah, there's a swap back onto Aloha, bringing him into the river. Lone Druid's going to start to work, and the big fireball above his head means that this man is going to take a little bit of damage. Not enough to die, though. Now with the cooldown, trying to move forward for the Savage Roar, sending Empire back. They'll still try and pursue, but the Snowball coming through, saving the Death Prophet, buying time for no one to continue to escape. Now looks like they'll get out. No one to fall out, so yet the Crypt Swarm and the Shards bringing the Bane fairly low. But no one to die in this fight, and both teams, even though they're throwing full 5 mana at each other, will get themselves out safely.
That first call down missile actually got disjointed by the Bane's Nightmare, so no one took like basically 0 damage, because the second one that came down, it hit him, but he got snowball saved from the flat cannons that were coming out with the Alacrity on from the Invokers. So again, a little bit sloppy, and unfortunately the Darkseer's VAC was only level 2 for that team fight, so it's not quite up to snuff when it comes to really getting people in that combo. But at least Empire, they get the tower, and they didn't lose their mid tower, which is still something.
Yeah, I mean, they do have to be careful the other side of Vega, because Empire, after that defense, you've got a smoke up from the two of them. Vega, they're playing very safe this game in the sense that they're getting the clean kills, they're avoiding fully committing to team fights, saving each other, and anytime a smoke is up or Empire are off the map, you can see them just hugging the towers here, just making sure that they don't get caught out by Empire.
Yeah, it's really nice movement from Vega. They seem to be playing well at this first game of the series. I think their lineup is really hard to deal with when Empire's timing was actually pretty early. You know, they had the level 6 on the Gyro, they have their mech on the Darkseer going, and pretty much right then and there you want to just start fighting, because your combo is... It's not really going to get any stronger when it comes to magic damage. You're just looking for the Gyrocopter and the Invoker to scale more into the late game. But Vega's lineup scales amazingly well. Like, Venjora is great. You're going to have a Lone Druid who's going to eventually build like Assault. You have natural Vlad's Carriers, Dazzle. I think their lineup is much more well-rounded when it comes to the mid and the late game. So I feel Empire might have some struggles here if they're not able to have some teamfight impact soon.
And at this point, we can see the Vega not necessarily too fussed about getting involved in a team fight, so it's going to be hard for Empire to find one. And Pasha's build with the Helm of the Dominator on top of the Treads, and the Aquila, Lone Druid, 3k gold, so he's very close to that relic. So we're going to see a pretty good timing here on this Lone Druid's Radiance Midas. If he doesn't get caught out by Empire. Yeah, this is a scary start to be going up against if you're Empire.
Well, hopefully they can maybe get a successful smoke gank or a team fight or something going for them. They do have all the tier 1s down on the side of Vega, so that is something that they can use to their advantage here. And their warding is okay. They have like one aggro ward and then one kind of by the river. I guess they want to prioritize the vision near Roshan because they know that that's going to be one of the key points. After the tier 1s are dead, usually Roshan is like the next logical target because you don't have to travel all the way across the map to a tier 2 and put yourself in harm's way to deal damage. But yeah, Empire still looking for their opening. Resolution's got a lot of farm. That's something else too that they have going for them. He's got Yules already with his Midas, and I assume he's either going to be going for Blank or Boots of Travel, because with this build you kind of run into inventory slot issues sooner or later.
I mean, if there was anyone as well that you want to rely on Invoker, I think we saw, was it back in Dream League, Resolution pretty much single-handedly carrying games on Invoker.
Oh god, yeah, that Quaswex Invoker game?
Yeah,
that was
he pretty much just wins
insane.
it on it. He picks Empire up and puts them on his back and just takes them through.
I miss the Quaswex, man. Now it's just all back to Exort all the time.
Oh well, Empire smoked up again, trying to find a fight. Vega. I've got Pasha here in the neighborhood, but he plays it safe, and I get Vega. No, they just know what's up. They hug the towers. Empire might be willing to dive the towers though, and we can see them moving forward. A bit of an ambitious Sunstruck from Resolution.
I think No Fear got his grip didn't go off. I think that's why he Sunstruck there, because he thought the grip was going to go off from Bane.
Yeah, so I guess it's space created. They get a bit of damage on the tower, but still, they're struggling to find that team fight that they do need to really kind of close the gap between themselves and Vega. But let's have a look at the graphs. It's only 2K, so still very early days. Only a slight lead for Vega. But with Empire's lineup, as you keep saying, as it goes into the mid game, they do want to try and make sure that they're ahead, and a team fight's going to be what does that for them.
Yeah, I do still think that Vega's lineup scales, and I have a tendency to underestimate Gyro, because there was a game yesterday we were casting, and I didn't really think that Gyro was going to be able to like transition as well into the late game as he did, and ended up like being one of the biggest factors of the entire match. So maybe I'm not giving the Gyro carry enough credit here, but Vega, they still have time on their side. Let's just say that.
And actually, who's bringing Helpfuls on the couriers? That's someone putting us an Ether Lens. Yeah, I think this is normally what Lohar does, doesn't he? He gets the Ether Lens pretty much as his first big item on this man, and yeah, we have it done now on the Oracle.
It's really good if you look at the False Promise cast range. Like it's massive.
You're saving people across the map. Yeah, that's big stuff here for Lohar.
And Havos, in the meantime, struggling with these Ancients. He's like, dear god, why does Ice Frog keep buffing these things? It's actually such a big nerf to Gyro that these are much harder to kill than they used to be. Because you need like 6 flat cannons or 7 now to kill these if you have the kind of farm that he has.
Yeah, I mean, Gyro's had his ups and downs. He did, of course, it balances off. He had that patch, which probably wasn't intended, but do you remember where the Ancients used to stack themselves? That was great.
Oh god, was that for like, it was like one day, right?
I think it was like, I guess it was just one. I remember it happening. It was, the Dire Ancients just stacked automatically. That was
Gyro win game.
Pretty much, pretty much.
Oh, is this a Roshan smoke here from Vega? Oh, they already
Let's have a look.
Popped the weave? No, they're going for kills. Their ward's gonna scout, I think, the Dazzle. Or the Darkseer.
Oh, Bane, in a bit of trouble. Goodbye, No Fear.
Oh my, first hit root as well? That's just BM. How you just gonna get a first hit root on that guy?
Get a pick off, go roast. That's the plan for Vega. I mean, they'll still
could
fight
actually,
Empire. Yeah.
They could actually fight this though, I think. They have a
the
wall,
Wombo.
They have Greaves, they have Invoker with the right spells invoked to kill somebody immediately. If you can get the Dazzle, that would be really good, because then there's no Grave. Oh man, he didn't go in.
Roshan's falling really quickly though. They need to do something soon. Funnick, is he going to do it? Surging in, Roshan low, but the snowball there to cancel Funnick from getting in, they'll get the Aegis. That's going to be the Dire, Roshan, and Aegis onto the Death Prophet. Now the fight will go, the cooldown, the vacuum, the wall, Resolution's combo, the damage from Empire is a huge amount, bringing Vega low, Mag, but the armor is going to be enough to keep them alive, and no one doing Death Prophet things, sucking them all off with the Spirit Siphon. Double kill here for the boy. Snowball onto Funnick, they may look to find a third kill here, and they will. Crypt Swarm finishes him off, and no one gets a triple kill kill on the Death Prophet. Does end up a 3-for-3 trade, but Vega got Roshan, and they still have the Aegis intact on the Death Prophet, so a victory there for the Dire.
It was a really nice fight for sure, but let's not discount Empire. They still managed to take out 2 cores on the side of Vega.
Only
and
a
that
slight
was
edge,
a 4v5 fight because the Bane didn't get there until the very end. Didn't end up using Fiend's Grip or really anything. He just took a little bit of damage and then had to bail. Also important to note that he used the Sunstrike to scout the pit, so instead of being able to kill the Dazzle before he got Grave off, Solo got his Grave, got a heal or 2 off in the fight, and just managed to do a lot more than he should have been able to had Resolution not thrown that Sunstrike in the first place. Like, I know that he had to see how low the Roshan was, but it was just unfortunate that he couldn't kill the Dazzle because of it. Or at least not kill him fast enough.
Yeah, I mean, even though the gold and the XP swing there was pretty even in terms of the fight, I'm just looking at this Death Prophet and I'm saying, mate, we're 21 minutes in. She's 300 gold away from having an Octarine on top of Phase and Jules Scepter. She's level 15, nearly 16. That's a massive issue for Empire.
Yeah, the ulti at level 3 is terrifying, to say the least, and like you mentioned with the Octarine, more healing for the Spirit Siphon, the Crypt Swarms are going to be coming out like non-stop. I really think this hero is ban-worthy, like first 2 ban.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think she has like a super big weakness anymore, because it used to be, because the Witchcraft scaling was it was linear, so you got 5% movement speed per point, but that made her laning phase a lot weaker, because she's not nearly as mobile. So you could gank her with relative ease, but in these types of games, where the enemy is just completely ignoring mid, that's like the best game to be a Death Prophet, because you can just shove the wave all you want, you get your ult ready, you get a rune for free every time because you're against Invoker. Like that, it is so hard to deal with Death Prophet with these kind of teams.
And here comes the push from Vega. Now look for the tier 1 top and they'll get it. Fortification comes out, but Empire won't want to defend this one. They'll let this go. And with the Exorcism and the Aegis, they'll probably just look to try and force the side of Empire back. I mean, Empire grouped up mid lane. They'll look to take a tier 2, and with the Forge Spirits and the Alacrity up Invoker, they will get it. This is going to be a question really of who forces you back.
Vega are actually behind, but they push faster, so they still have to get through the tier 2, but they have Lone Druid and Death Prophet. I think they might actually have to go back here. Yeah. They do have to go back. So that's a
tier
nice
3.
move from Empire.
Yeah, melting to less than half health. The push is successful. Empire looks like they will get out safely. So, all in all, yeah, a better bit of momentum there from the side of Empire. Vega did get the tower, but they didn't get any damage done to the tier 3, so Empire coming on top of that little bit of objective gaming.
I thought for a minute they might just pop their glyph and just go like full ham, you know, just try to go inside the base, but I guess because the tier 2s and even the tier 1 mid is still alive on Empire, it's not worth it. If the base was exposed in a bigger way, maybe Vegas stay there and go for 2 sets of racks instead of 1, but because they're unable to push another lane, they just have to get out.
And they'll look to just push down the, get this tier 1 and to go for the tier 2 here as well. Very close to level 16 on no one. And he's now, you know, he's got a plate mail, he's going for the Shiva's Guard. And here we have, he's just going to use the Exorcism straight up. Make short work here at the tier 2.
God,
and
the damage.
it just melts. Easy single
This is only
hero
level 2
attacking
ulti,
the
by
tower.
the way.
Yeah, it's going to step up soon.
Oh, they are still trading. Resolution and Havos managed to secure the tier 2 in the bottom lane. So it is not for nothing, at the very least. And Empire has been moving around the map very nicely for the last couple of minutes, especially given the fact that, as you already mentioned, Death Prophet has Aegis. I think he picked it up before the Lone Druid died. Usually this is the kind of hero that you look to not to carry the Aegis in the first place, because you don't respawn with Exorcism on, right? You die, it disappears, you come back with nothing. It's like playing Dragon Knight, for example, where you just don't really want it. So I'm kind of curious their reasoning as to why no one has it instead of the Lone Druid.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe they just actually picked it up because they were in a team fight.
It could have been a pack.
Yeah, that would make
there
the
was
most
potential
sense.
for a steal. There was definitely potential for a steal from Empire. They were very close.
Why is the thing's name Kung Fu Panda?
Why not?
Do you see that?
Yeah.
I just noticed that. I didn't even know you could name it.
Resolution's gonna look for a solo kill on the Lone Druid bet. I can't quite get it.
No invoke. Sad face. If he had like a cold snap or something, he would have been able to kill it, I think. But the invoker timing, that's actually something too that we haven't talked a lot about. Once he hits Aghanims, which I think is the next item he's buying, because he just bought a Staff of Wizardry. But once he gets that Ags up, it's going to be a lot more damage on that combo every single time he throws it out. Like, that Dazzle will 100% die to a combo until he gets like 1400 health. Speaking of
Resolution, yeah, has been caught out a little bit. He's got the backup of Aloha. And put down a sentry, they've got detection. Resolution will be able to get the blink off thanks to the false promise.
That's so broken, actually.
And here we go, TP out, no snowball for a few seconds, and it's going to be successful. Empire very nicely getting themselves out of a pretty deep situation that they were in.
I want to know how that interaction is actually balanced. Like when Ice Frog changed it so that Refraction did the same thing with Blink Dagger, I was just like, that's so annoying, right? When you're playing against something like that. Like back when Yules used to not deal damage and you can just blink away. Like it's that level of annoying.
Yeah, I mean, it's as you said, it's worse than Refraction in the sense that it doesn't matter if you stun the target hero or whatnot, as long as there's an Oracle around, especially once he's got Ether Lens. It's like, alright, you're going to be fine, you're going to be able to blink out. I mean, I think that is probably the strongest aspect of this hero. There's a lot of different bits about him that make him very relevant, but yeah. Giving a Blink hero a free escape has to be one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, for sure. It's actually like playing with, if you have Blink, it's like playing with an Earth Spirit, because you just get the get out of jail
Saved
free.
every time.
Yeah.
And the cooldown, what's the cooldown on Force Pros? It goes right
30
down.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, yeah. I thought it was low when it gets there.
Yeah, Aloha Dance is only level 10, but I'm sure he'll make his way towards that level 16 at some point. But again, it's not really been the most action-packed game. I will say, though, that this has a lot of maneuvering and pushing behind it, so even at 27 minutes, there's only 2 outer tier towers remaining, safe lane, respectively, for both teams. And I do believe that no one wants to do something about that. See his bottom lane with that level 3 ulti ready to go.
He's pretty much got the money here for the Shiva's Guard as well.
Okay, this time Empire will have to go back.
Yeah, the push is going to be so strong here from Vega.
This tower
Look at this
is
tower.
ripped.
It's gone. Literally just gone.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You need to get back Empire and you need to bring the big guns, because there's Death Prophet waltzing into your base with over 40 armor, thanks to the weave.
Wow, they're actually going to go back.
Okay.
Oh, Roshan, that's why. The Aegis faded up on Death Prophet, so they know the Roshan is going to be up soon, so they
let's
don't
have a
want
look
to
at the
risk
timer.
it.
Is it going to be a long one or not? Let's have a look. What's the duration? It's a short one as well. So this could work very nicely for Vegas there, as you said, just backing up. Roshan is definitely going to be the next big fight here from both sides. And, I mean, as we saw before, Empire do have the team fight to take a fight around the Roche pit. But if Exorcism's up, which it will be in 60 seconds, so Roshan is going to be up slightly before Exorcism's available again, but it's just a short window, so it's very likely that they will be able to hang on and no one will have Exorcism for that Roshan fight, which is going to make it pretty hard for Empire to go into, especially as we've seen as well with the Weave. Just the Dazzle Death Prophet combination proving to be very strong this game.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising that this patch Dazzle makes it so far into the draft, you know? Like, he was picked, what, 4th by Vega, I want to say?
And he used to be kind of, well,
no,
you're talking a month ago, he was kind of first pick material. Well, as in first 2 picks, you'd get him in the wombo combo. But he certainly slipped off.
Yeah, 5th pick Dazzle this game. Pretty crazy stuff to think about. I mean, he's still insanely good against Gyro, just because, like you mentioned, the Weave is a very powerful tool. You just give armor to everyone. But it's already hard enough for Gyro to deal any damage. Like, look at his items. He has an SNY, drums, and a javelin. Like, yeah, he's making his way towards MKB, which is going to be great in terms of DPS output, but for now, that Death Prophet is so tanky, so is a Lone Druid.
You're just not breaking... Look at this.
Even Venge.
He's got 34 armor, and that's without the Weave.
Yep.
Here we go.
They're just going to go in, I think.
Up and up and up. Look at that. Look at that physical damage resistance, 66. How high are we going to go? 67%. There we go. 70%. We're going to make it any higher. 72. Yeah, let's keep going. Resisting. 77% it goes up to. 77% of physical damage just being wrote off. You're looking at a Gyro that's hitting for 160. And suddenly he's only hitting for like less than 30. Here goes the fight. They'll look for the vacuum, but the Yules are not on. He's got the Exorcism up. This is going to be so hard for Empire to fight through. They'll swap in Shoma. Pasha pops the BKB. Her Force has been false promised up. Snowball coming in for Shoma the Slayer. Straight on with the stun ups to him. Just look at no one. He's literally taking no damage at all. 3 heroes dying on the side of Empire. And I think you just look at the draft and you say, well, Death Prophet got through as the first pick. We lost, boys.
Honestly, their positioning in that fight was so good. Like, Vega realized the only way they can lose a team fight is if Empire get like a 5-man back wall into a call down. So what do? The bear tanks Roshan, no one pops his ulti, sits there, and they have to go in. Like, Empire cannot afford to give this away for nothing. So they try to go for a fight. Funnick goes in, he blinds, goes for like a cliff, I guess, on the Death Prophet to maybe try to get the fight going that way. Misses. And as soon as he missed that, the fight's already over. Like, there's actually nothing they could do.
And, oh man, AC on Lone Druid as well.
He already has Vlad's too, so that's plus 10 extra armor for the whole team.
This, yeah, just building around the Death Prophet very nicely. It is the perfect Death Prophet lineup, just looking at the heroes that they've got. It works so well. The draft from Vega. We've seen a few games where they've brought something to the game and it just has, you know, it's been all over the place. What they've tried to do hasn't worked, but this game, the Death Prophet plan, I mean, you can't go wrong at the moment in the patch by the looks of it with the Death Prophet plan.
Yeah, I think the way the lanes worked out really hurt Empire. Like, their lack of ability to kill the Death Prophet during the early game. Like, you either need to be able to have comparable pushing and teamfight, which Empire kinda lack in the teamfight department, or you need to just kill the Death Prophet in lane, or pressure her a lot, in order to stop it from getting to this point. But between that and the Lone Druid, it's just, look at this. This is disgusting.
Ras is just disappearing. No one. Oh, he is getting low here. They might have a potential of killing him. Oh wait, no. Apologies. No, they don't. He's Death Prophet. He's fine. And look there. Oh, look at this one.
Oh my god.
Thanks for the help, Ice Frog.
Yeah, they're banning this hero next game, I'm sure.
Gyro's just dead. I think he killed himself after realizing that this Death Prophet is currently 804. Has the same amount of farm as a Lone Druid with Radiance and Midas, now on a godlike streak. And here we have it. Second set of racks going down, and yeah, Empire, they're not even going to wonder where it all. It's a lovely vacuum, but that's all it is. Nice multi-man Fortune's End, but it's just aesthetical at the moment. Nothing really tickling, and oh, look, this is cute. They're trying to hurt the Death Prophet.
I don't know if it's going to work out for him, Owen. I really don't.
I'm a Death Prophet. Ooh.
It is spooky as fuck in here right now.
Oh, Spirit Siphon, thanks for the help. Oh, that's right. You can try and kill me, but it's not going to work, boys. Hey, guess what? I've got ultimate up again in 10 seconds time, and I'm going to destroy your base and your children. Death Prophet.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, they just call GG. They realize it's way too far gone to...
The Death Prophet, I mean, yeah, Death Prophet, that was... I don't think, yeah.
That
the
was
last
silly.
time I saw someone get DP'd that hard, I enjoyed it a little bit more than Empire did it, I can tell you that. That was,
yeah, honestly.
Damn. That was some DP
brutal.
action. Absolutely brutal. You'll find that under one of the categories on various educational websites. But, wow. Vega. Yeah, first ban Death Prophet. I'm calling it, Andy.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be first ban, but they need